Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing amazing. In today's video, I will be tapping into the energies of the person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. So as per usual, the timestamps will be in the description bar below as well as the comments. So let's just get started here. Okay, so starting off with Aries. Person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, so we have the Three of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, and we have the Five of Wands. Okay. This may be someone that you work with, okay? Or there could be some sort of conflict pertaining to work, whether this be something that's occurring on your end or their end. But Three of Pentacles and the Five of Wands could be like a disagreement at work, or someone who is possibly negotiating something when it comes to their career, but they don't feel like it's progressing the way that they wanted to. And what's interesting with the Three of Pentacles and the Five of Wands, the Five of Wands could be a card of competition, right? So if this is not pertaining to their career, they may feel that they are trying to prove themselves to you, or there's some sort of competition in the way. That's for some of you. Okay. How is this person feeling about Aries? Okay, so we have the Six of Swords, followed by the Judgment. Some of you could be thinking of a Scorpio. This could be someone who's like physically relocating to be closer to you, or they want to feel closer to you if it's more on like an emotional level here. But I do see them wanting to be closer to you with the Six of Swords, and the Judgment is also symbolic for leaving something behind. So I feel like this person is either moving away from, like I said, they're physically relocating, or they're moving away from another situation. It could even be mentally letting go of something, forgiving a situation in order to feel closer to you. Because the Six of Swords is, you know, moving away, leaving something behind. And the Judgment touches on leaving like an old way of thinking, or being behind and stepping into, or at least moving towards what you desire here. That card could also be symbolic for a wake-up call. So I feel there's something that's changing within this person, and you're going to see the effects of that in this dynamic here. I also feel like there could be certain things this person was having a hard time letting go of mentally, even if it means that they were in their own way. And I do see them overcoming those obstacles. And the Six of Swords being the first card in their feelings is someone who wants to move to calmer waters. So if there's a disagreement here, if there's something that you guys still have to communicate or speak about to each other, I think that they want to get to the bottom of it. This is about wanting a situation to feel more peaceful. Three of Wands. This is someone who has high hopes for the future here. And what's interesting is in the Three of Wands, he's holding on to one wand, right? Which is symbolic for knowing which direction they're headed in. So even if this is someone who has taken some time to make a decision, they are moving towards you. And there's a very certain energy associated with it as well. This could be a week where this person is waiting for some sort of a sign from you, or they could be specifically communicating something to you because they want, whether it's a particular response or they're trying to get to the bottom of how you feel, figuring out if you guys are on the same page. But they want to move away from the past and build something new with you. And the Three of Wands could also be a card of planning. Whether this be travel plans, whether this is just, you know, this person is communicating with you about what they want to work towards with you. The Lovers. Some of you could be dealing with a Gemini. So this is someone who's viewing you as a soulmate. There's something about this connection that feels destined to be. And the Lovers is also someone who feels like they were at a crossroads for quite some time. So I feel like this week they're ready to make a decision, or they have already chosen a direction that they want to go in, but it's going to be visible to you this week is what I'm sensing. And the Lovers and the Judgment, that is a huge decision that someone is making pertaining to a connection here. And that's why I did mention, especially with the Lovers clarifying the Six of Swords, there's definitely something that this person is moving away from. It could be an old environment. With the Five of Wands that we did see, it could be moving away from maybe external influences or something that's very contradicting to what they want for themselves. And they're prioritizing peace of mind above all, and they want to feel at peace with you in the situation, but they could feel like things are kind of up in the air for a while. But there's a very certain energy this week with the Lovers and the Judgment. The Queen of Cups, wanting to have a heart-to-heart conversation with you. And what's interesting is the Queen of Cups is them, it comes out in someone's feelings when they're following their heart, when they are following their intuition here. So not only are they feeling guided in your direction, they're listening to that gut feeling. Even if there has been some sort of distance or an indecisive behavior, they can't help how they feel. And that's something that they're acknowledging. And furthermore, I think they want to express that to you with the Queen of Cups, because like I said, that card could touch on, someone who's coming in with like an emotional outpour or wanting to have like a heart-to-heart conversation here. The Queen of Cups clarifying the Judgment is also giving me a strong energy of someone who is waking up and realizing, okay, this is how I feel and I can no longer ignore it. There may be emotions here that they've suppressed in the past, or they were putting off acting on their emotions. But in the now, it's like, I want to act on how I feel. I want to pursue this connection here. Three of Wands, the Nine of Pentacles. I feel like this person views you to be in like a very stable energy, possibly very independent as well. But what I'm seeing here, guys, is like this may be someone who has done some sort of internal work, or they felt like they were not as stable as they could be, right? If it's not like shadow work, it could just be someone who's like wasn't happy with their finances or their living situation. But I do see that they've made the changes or the necessary changes, and they're feeling more confident about pursuing something with you. This person could have also been in a very codependent situation, and they're freeing themselves from that situation. That's for some of you. The Three of Swords. What's the Queen of Cups? The Wheel of Fortune, yeah. So I do feel like, again, there could have been indecision or disappointment in the past, but what's causing this person to feel torn is, despite the distance, right? Or even if there was a pause in this connection, from what I see here, they cannot ignore how they feel. So they could have tried to walk away from the situation, or they could have tried to, keep the distance here, but they're acknowledging how they feel and they're ready for a turn of events is pretty much what I see here. But I also see with the Wheel of Fortune that something could have felt very stagnant for this person for a while, because this card is associated with fixed energy. So whether it's someone who wanted to pursue a connection with you, but they were unable to because of their circumstances, they may feel like it took a while for those circumstances to change. It's not like an overnight process here. They also don't want to give up on this connection because they feel like they would be hurt if they did not try. Two of Wands, yeah. I see someone who sees a future with you, and this is a week where, yes, they're coming forward, they're speaking to you. Maybe some of you are already conversing with them as you're watching my read, but they want to figure out a plan for the future. I also see this person asking you specific questions. There's something about trying to figure you out or figure out if you're on the same page as them, okay? So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Taurus. Okay, Taurus, let's see. The person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, guys, you could be thinking of a fixed sign, so it would be possibly another Taurus like yourself, Leo, Scorpio, or an Aquarius. We have the Wheel of Fortune, and we have the Sun card. Okay, so strong Leo energy here. This seems like a positive shift in a connection. The Wheel of Fortune, yes, it's usually when something is working out in your favor, but it takes place after a while. So either something has felt very stagnant in this connection, or maybe, even if it wasn't stagnant, it wasn't progressing the way that you wanted it to. But I do see this as like a positive shift. This could even be some sort of good news that you're receiving from this person. Almost feels like a breakthrough here with the Sun card. Okay, how is this person feeling about Taurus? Okay. Let's see. The Fool card, okay. And the Knight of Cups. You're receiving an offer this week. The Fool card with the Knight of Cups, that's someone offering you their cup of love. But with the Fool card, this is like a brand new beginning or some sort of a fresh start. So if this is not completely new love, it could be that for some of you, it's almost like a finally moment. Finally, I'm seeing progress. Finally, I'm seeing some sort of action from this person. Because what I see is someone moving towards you, telling you how they feel about you. They're not really sure what the future holds, because the Fool card could touch on moving towards something and not really having a plan in mind, kind of just going with the flow here. But I do see that this is someone who feels very deeply towards you. And so this could be like a kind gesture, but for many of you, what I was initially getting is like an emotional confession. The Seven of Pentacles. This is someone who has been analyzing this connection or analyzing you as a person and trying to get to know you or understand you on a deeper level. And they are moving towards you to tell you how they feel, but the Seven of Pentacles could also be like there's a very realistic energy associated with it, where you're looking at a situation and you are pretty much figuring out if it's going to be worth the investment. This could be someone who has tried to pursue you in the past, or something about this connection felt a little bit like it wasn't necessarily getting off the ground, or there was some sort of interruptions here. So they are analyzing what has worked between the both of you in the past versus maybe where there's room for improvement here. I'm also getting a strong energy of someone who really admires your work ethic, or there could be even a particular goal that you're working towards that they're aware of, but there's something about your work ethic or just viewing you as like a very hardworking individual here. Something about your patience is coming through as well, Taurus. The Fool card is being clarified by the Queen of Swords. So as this person is connecting with you, they feel like there's some sort of a barrier or a wall that they're trying to break down. So the Queen of Swords doesn't necessarily mean that you have chosen to cut ties with this person in the past. That could be the case for some of you. But for others of you, it's like they're viewing you in a very clear-cut energy. You know what you want and you know what you're not willing to tolerate here. And I'm not saying that you're not opening up to this person, but I feel like there's a part of you that is hidden, or there is a part of you that has some sort of a guard up, whether it's because you don't trust this situation or you are just someone who takes, some time to actually open up and trust others, because they're viewing you as, okay, Taurus has some sort of a guard up. I am telling them how I feel, but I'm not getting much from them. So some of you could be kind of like analyzing this person or doing more listening than speaking this week. The Seven of Wands. This is someone who's very, very protective over this connection. So they're not really telling anyone around them about how they feel towards you or what they're planning on doing in terms of pursuing a connection with you. Now, this is very specific, Taurus, so only take it if it resonates, but this person may feel like they were a bit defensive towards you in the past for the wrong reasons. Like there could be something here that they were offended by, or something that maybe they took to heart and they're starting to realize, or they're having a shift in perspective. Whether it's, I did not see the situation clearly for what it was and I was overreacting, or there's something about feeling like, why did I come off defensive when I could have handled that differently? So I do see them revisiting a situation where it's like, okay, well, I came off a little strong there. The Seven of Pentacles, Four of Cups. I think this person is questioning your interest as well, whether it's because there's a lot of time that has, passed between the both of you and they feel like they're coming in when it's a little too late. But the Four of Cups could be an energy of, is my offer something that Taurus is going to accept? The other way that I could read this with the Four of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles is this is someone who's tired of a waiting game. Whether it's they were, the waiting game in terms of like they were waiting for the right time, right? Or they would constantly put off, expressing how they feel towards you. They're tired of that. And I think that is what's pushing them or propelling them forward to pursue something with you. It's almost like, because Four of Cups could be when you're like fantasizing or there's a lot of visions that you're having, but it's not the most action-oriented energy. But I think that they're becoming tired of that. The Queen of Swords. The Four of Wands, yeah, they want to come together with you. And there's something about some sort of good news that this person wants to share with you as well. I'm persistently getting that here. Whether it's a change that they've made, whether it's something that they've accomplished, But I do feel like it's some sort of good news on their end, but they want to share it with you. The Three of Cups, this person could be wanting to take you out, could be wanting to spend quality time with you. And the Three of Cups could also touch on, like, it's a very social energy, right? So it could be that they're inviting you to a gathering, or maybe you guys have mutual friends, and that you guys are connecting with, your friends as well as each other, that sort of thing. But I think that this is someone who wants to be in your company. Four of Cups, the Three of Pentacles. Yeah. It's a very realistic approach. It will start off with as an emotional confession, telling you how they feel about you, in hopes that you guys could, reconcile or work something out. But with the Three of Pentacles as the closing card, it's letting me know that the most important thing that this person feels right now is to have a conversation with you or come to a mutual agreement. There's a very defensive energy that they feel like they responded in the past, and they want to clear that up. They could sense that there's a level of frustration on your end, hence why they feel like you have some sort of a guard up. But the main goal that they have here is coming to a mutual agreement with you. Okay? So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Gemini. Okay, Gemini, let's see. The person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, guys. So we have the Fool card on the bottom of the deck here, and we have the Lovers. This could quite literally indicate like a new start in love for some of you. So maybe you're connecting with someone new. We're going to clarify to see. But for others of you, it could be like turning over a new leaf, or, seeing a large shift in a dynamic that makes you very happy. Okay. I'm also hearing the word or purging. Okay, so there could be something that you're letting go of, even if it's, expectations, or maybe there was a situation that you were having a hard time, accepting or forgiving. There's something about purging here. Okay, how does this person feel about Gemini? Okay, so we have the Hierophant. Some of you could be dealing with a Taurus or a Leo. Wow. What I see is, yes, a shift, but it seems to me that someone feels ready to take the next step here. With the Hierophant, I do feel like, well, that card does touch on elevation, but with the Sun card, it's like there's something here that's becoming very clear about you to this person this week, whether it's your intentions, whether it's what you're wanting from this connection. But I see this person wanting to move to the next level, whether it's putting a title on what what you guys have together, whether it's feeling ready for a higher level of commitment. And there could have been a lack of clarity in this situation in the past here, but I see an individual who doesn't feel confused, or they feel like the clarity that's coming in for them this week is helping them, move forward, or, see some sort of progress in this connection here. Someone here could be a teacher, the Queen of Wands. This is someone who's highly attracted to you and very fixated on you this week. Could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And they are viewing you as someone who possesses very unique qualities. It may even be something that you do for work that is kind of out of the norm. That's the energy that's coming through here. But I do see someone who is attracted to you because you are very unique. I see a lot of passion here. And I think that this is a week where this is someone who's giving you a lot of attention, or you can sense that they're taking a liking towards you, and they're wanting the current dynamic to develop into something more. 9 of Swords. This could be, a bit of an anxious energy. So it's like, whether it's they're up in their mind and they're thinking about a commitment here, and they're thinking about every possible outcome. But the 9 of Swords touches on not all the things, or not all the thoughts that are coming to mind have to be the truth, right? It could be where you're overanalyzing or overthinking a situation here. I also feel, guys, like there could be an energy of wanting to make something right. Like the way that this person has communicated with you in the past, or maybe the way that they have approached the situation in the past, they're not proud of. because there is a little bit of an anxious energy, but it's like reliving a situation or revisiting a situation and seeing how they could have done things differently. But I also just see someone who's thinking about you quite a bit, and they're over analyzing their approach, possibly even wanting something to work out in a particular manner, and they're trying to detach from an outcome. High Priestess. Some of you could be dealing with the Pisces, wow, High Priestess and the Hierophant. So there could be telepathic communication between the both of you this week. This is someone who feels very understood by you, and they feel like you're able to understand them even without them being vocal or verbalizing what's going on here. Almost an energy of like what's understood doesn't need to be explained. This could also be a connection with a lot of, lessons where they are learning a lot about themselves through connecting with you. And there may also be some sort of mystery surrounding this connection because this person feels like there's a very discreet energy here, or they want things to feel more like out in the open, or if there are any secrets, right? They want that to, come up to the surface here. It could even be someone who feels like they are opening up to you, but little by little. But they're wanting that to change. They're wanting you to know them on a deeper level. And they're wanting to get to know you on a deeper level as well. King of Swords. Some of you could have a guard up with this person, or there's something that is causing you to feel uneasy. Because with the King of Swords, they're viewing you in this like very clear-cut energy. Like you're either, it could even be where they feel like you're all in or you're all out. And in the current moment, they're not really sure how you're feeling, especially if there's some sort of silence. So as they're breaking the silence between the both of you, they could still feel a bit confused about your intentions or where you stand. I also feel, guys, like this person is viewing you as very intelligent. The King of Swords, it's an energy of being able to get to the bottom of an issue or find a solution without the help of, anyone else. So there could be something here that you figured out about this person through your intuition or just in another way, but on your own is basically what I'm saying here. And they're viewing you as someone like you know more than you show. You don't really reveal everything that you know. Wow, King of Wands, and we have the Queen of Wands. What's the High Priestess? The Two of Wands. This is someone who sees a future with you. And I'm getting a heavy fixation on you this week, Gemini. Like, yes, it could be that they're conversing with you, but I think even if you guys are having conversations, they're, still keeping tabs on you via social media. Or if this is someone that, you see on a daily basis, I think they're going to be asking you a lot more questions, or there's some sort of like paying attention to the details here when it comes to you and how you're operating. King of Swords, the Five of Swords. They feel like you're mentally conflicted when it comes to this situation. And they can tell in terms of like the energy that you're exuding, whether it's you're speaking to this person but you're not really opening up, or there could be a little bit of like passive aggression here. If that's not the case, the Five of Swords is just someone who's able to tell that you're feeling a bit confused or you're on the fence when it comes to this connection. Five of Swords, Knight of Swords, yeah. I still see them communicating with you, but I will say that this is someone where when you guys are conversing, it's going to take time for you to open up, or so that's how they're, feeling. Where, again, you could be opening up to them. You could be open for conversation. But maybe you're on the fence, or there's something here that you don't trust. Five of Swords and the Knight of Swords could also be holding on to communication that occurred in the past. And it's more specifically communication that you feel uneasy about. So maybe you want to bring to the forefront what you're feeling uneasy about, or something that this person has communicated in the past here. But I do see someone who's coming back around. Because the best way for me to explain it, guys, I do see someone conversing with you, but there's still like a very discreet energy with that High Priestess and Nine of Swords. So whether it's something that they're thinking about and they're having a hard time bringing it up, right? Or it's something that the both of you are thinking about, but there's like a little bit of an avoidant energy when it comes to a specific event that occurred. Because I don't see someone who's being completely silent or choosing not to speak to you at all, but I do see that there could be something that takes time to kind of come to the surface here, okay? So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Cancer. Okay, Cancer. Let's see. The person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, So we have the Wheel of Fortune. Some of you could be thinking of a fixed sign, Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, or Taurus. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. What I see, Cancer, is like what you're putting your energy into. That you know, you're seeing a lot of progress, or there's like an energy of flow where like nothing feels forced. Like there may be something here that, like, whether it's like a goal in mind. Okay, so we have the King of Pentacles behind the Wheel of Fortune. Whether it's like a goal that you've had in mind when it comes to this connection, or maybe you felt like, you know, you and someone else were trying to get something off the ground, but it just felt like there were constant obstacles. It's like you feel things are flowing again. It's like feeling more at ease about a situation. Let's see. How is this person feeling about Cancer? Someone could be someone could be letting go of some sort of resistance, or some form of resistance when it comes to this connection. Whether it's like letting go of control, or detaching from an outcome here and saying, you know what, I'm just going to allow things to unfold the way that they're supposed to. Yeah, something is beginning to flow is basically what I'm sensing here. So we have the Sun card. Some of you could be thinking of a Leo, and the Knight of Cups. Wow. This is someone who feels like you make them very happy, Cancer. There could be a very youthful energy about you as well, or there's something with connecting with you that is aiding in healing their inner child. Because what I see is some sort of wounds that are resurfacing for this person, but in a good way, in a positive way, where it's like, okay, you know, they're resurfacing so that I could, you know, process these emotions and deal with them. And Knight of Cups is a love offer, an emotional confession. This is someone who's very attracted to you, and they may feel like you are very charming, or you have like a natural charisma about you as well. The Lovers. Some of you could be thinking of a Gemini. So the Lovers usually comes up in a spread when, you know, it feels like the universe or your belief system has brought two energies together, right? So this is someone who feels like, I met Cancer for a reason, or we cross paths for a reason. But there's something about wanting to explore that with you is what I'm sensing here. And what's interesting is, even if this is like, you know, someone who's confessing their emotions, they feel like they've known you forever, or there's something about feeling like maybe even feeling like you guys have had like a past life connection together. Because with the Sun and the Lovers, it's like feeling very close to you, but I also see that they're emotionally confessing, right? So it's like, you know, even if you knew that this person was taking a liking towards you, I think that their emotions are deeper than they were letting on. And this could be a very intense connection, but this person feels like things still feel like they're up in the air, or there's a decision that needs to be made, because the Lovers does touch on someone who feels very deeply towards you, although there is, again, a decision at hand. Seven of Wands. This is someone who's very protective of you or this connection here. Whether that means they're not really, you know, speaking to anyone about this connection, or, you know, this is someone who wants to figure things out with you before they publicize something that you guys have going on. But I also feel like this person could be kind of like a little guarded, or like, even if they're opening up to you about how they feel towards you, they're taking things slow. They're trying not to rush into something. They do feel very deeply towards you, but it could be wanting to execute something in like a specific manner, or not wanting to rush into something and then, you know, have it not work out the way that they wanted to. Because what I see is someone who wants to take their time with pursuing you, but they can't help how they feel. And the more that they connect with you, the more their emotions develop for you. King of Wands. This could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This person feels like you balance them out in a way, Cancer. So it could be like two very different energies coming together, but again, in a very positive way, where maybe there are certain aspects of this person that you admire, or you're inspired by, and vice versa. And this is someone who's highly attracted to you as well, with the King of Wands. Yes, this could touch on physical attraction, but there's something coming out when it comes to, or something coming out about your style, okay? So it could be like the way that you dress. Maybe there's like a specific like statement piece of jewelry that you wear, but there's something to do with like your style that's coming through here as well. Knight of Wands. Very fiery energy. Very passionate energy, but I will say that this person is like, it's very difficult for them to control this urge that they're feeling specifically this week. You know, if this could also be someone who shows you they care for you through like physical affection as well. Okay. But what I see is someone who really, there's like this magnetic pull that they feel, but with the King of Wands and the Knight of Wands, there's something that they're having a hard time controlling this week. Like, even if this is someone who's usually very emotionally balanced and they don't really like do things impulsively, you may receive like a very impulsive message from them because they're unable to fight that urge, is what I'm sensing. The Star card. Some of you could be dealing with an Aquarius. You have someone here, Cancer, who wants to learn you on a deeper level, and I'm specifically getting the things that genuinely make you happy, the things that genuinely please you. So even if they feel like they understand you as a person, I mean, they are developing emotions for you for a reason. I think that they feel there's so much more to you that they want to know, that they want to learn. And the Star card could also be symbolic for someone who views you as very, very rare, very, very special. You know, the way you make them feel or something about this connection could, it's like an energy of, I've never experienced this before. And they hold you very close to their heart with the Star card. Eight of Pentacles. For some of you, this person could be familiar with what you do for work and they see your potential, even if that's not visible to you. Like, they're viewing you as someone who's going to go very far just because of who you are, right? Of course, there could be a skill that you possess. You could be a very hardworking person, but the Star is like, it's like this card touches on your purpose. And you know, really just having that star quality of, and someone's able to notice that. Because of course you need knowledge and a skill set to, you know, pursue whatever it is that you're interested in. But there's something that you naturally have, whether it's charisma, the way that you carry yourself, maybe the way that you articulate yourself. But they are viewing you as someone who's going to go very far in your life. 10 of Pentacles, wow. You may also be attracting someone here where with the King of Wands and Knight of Wands, they like travel a lot, or there's something very fast moving when it comes, or about their lifestyle. Someone who maybe has not been in a commitment in the past, or who has not really thought about settling down until connecting with you. And I still feel like a decision needs to be made, but you're going to see that this person is definitely actively pursuing you. They want a commitment with you, but it's more like going with the flow. I don't think that this is someone who's going to rush into anything. I think that they might confess something impulsively to you this week, but I think that they are wanting to take things slow. Okay? So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Leo. Okay, Leo. So the person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, guys, so we have the Nine of Swords on the bottom of the deck, and we have the Page of Pentacles. You have someone here who's stressing about reaching out to you. Page of Pentacles is usually like a message or a phone call, and Nine of Swords is like a very worrisome or anxious energy. Like, I think that this is someone who really wants to speak to you this week, but they can't figure out what to say, or they feel like it's not, like they should not reach out, or they're going to, you know, like there's a lot of stress surrounding just reaching out. Like a message or a phone call is pretty much what I'm getting here. But it's also stressing them out that they're not speaking to you, right? And that's where this energy is stemming from. I want to hear from Leo, but I don't know what to say. Or I want to hear from Leo, but I don't know how they will respond or if they will respond. Okay, how is this person feeling about my Leos? Okay, the Star card, some of you could be dealing with an Aquarius, and the Sun card, wow. It's a strong energy of wanting to heal something with you, Leo. That's what's coming through here. Um, this is someone who feels like your energy is irreplaceable. Because the star card is, it usually comes up in someone's feelings when they feel like what they have is very rare or it's very special. So the connection that you guys share, it feels very irreplaceable here to this person. And that's something that's being illuminated to them this week. This is someone who feels like you make them very happy with the Sun card. But initially what I was getting here is like wanting to heal something with you, but not really sure how to go about it, or if you're going to, or if you're wanting the same thing. Even with the Nine of Swords that we did see, it does talk about, feeling anxious or overthinking a situation, but it doesn't mean that everything you're thinking is true, right? So there could be an energy of them feeding into maybe their pessimistic thoughts, or there's something that they're thinking, but it's not really the truth. It's just an energy of feeling a bit anxious or worried. Three of Pentacles, yeah. This could be someone that you work with. It's not going to be the case for all of you, but Three of Pentacles is, I want to speak to Leo. I want to come to a mutual agreement here. There's also a little bit of strategy and planning involved, because the Three of Pentacles does touch on that. So it's like, okay, maybe I should approach Leo this way, or maybe I should say this, right? So there's like a lot of planning going on, but it's all in hopes that you guys could come to a mutual agreement here. And what I'm persistently getting, Leo, is this is just someone who really wants to hear from you. So I wonder if, there's been silence between the both of you for quite some time, or maybe there was something that occurred recently, but they can't stand the silence here, because I'm getting a very strong energy of, I just want to talk to you. I just want to hear from you. The Queen of Swords, yeah. So you could have cut ties with this person because they are viewing you as giving them the cold shoulder. They are viewing you as pretty detached this week. But it doesn't change the urge that they feel to converse with you or to, figure something out here, come to a mutual agreement. But I think that you've made something very clear, and that's the very thing that they're thinking about and the very thing that is stressing them out. So I'll give you an example, Leo. Maybe you told this person that you do not want to speak to them again, right? Or maybe you made it very clear in terms of something that upset you. It's like a very truthful and blunt energy, but they are thinking about that specific communication. And this is someone who doesn't know if you are open to hearing them out. They may feel like you're still frustrated with the situation, or they can tell that you are, your back is turned towards the situation. There's some sort of like an empty feeling that is that you're exuding, that they feel here. Six of Swords, wanting to move to calmer waters. Again, make peace with the situation here. When they're thinking about you this week, they do not feel at ease. And there's something that they're struggling to move away from mentally. So whether it's feeling guilt, right? Whether it's something that you said to them that maybe they feel very sad or upset about, but they want to make peace with you. When they think of you or the situation, they want to feel at ease. I'm also strongly getting, Leo, like this is someone who wants to work something out with you, but with the Queen of Swords and the Six of Swords, they may feel you leaving them behind. Like there's a very strong energy of them viewing you as being just completely done or at the point of no return. It doesn't make it true, Leo, but this is what's going on in their feelings, the Strength card. So they're like, I know that Leo is thinking of me. I know that Leo has emotions, but I don't know if I'm going to have access to that side of Leo again. Because they're viewing you as someone with deep, intense emotion, someone who's very nurturing and caring, but there has been, an energetic shift here where now they're viewing you as closed off, detached, and refraining from speaking about the things that are bothering you, whether it's because in the past when you did open up, you didn't really feel like it was useful, or you didn't really feel like you were seeing, your desired outcome here. Maybe you felt misunderstood. But they feel like you're refraining from speaking about your emotions, like you have some sort of an armor around your heart. Ten of Swords. So there could be like a painful ending or betrayal that is being highlighted for this person this week. And that could be the energy that could be the reason why there's a strong energy of wanting to heal something with you. But it's like, I want to heal this with Leo. I want to speak to Leo, but I don't know that Leo is going to open up to me. Seven of Swords. There could be some sort of guilt or shame that they want to acknowledge here. What's a Strength card? The Two of Cups. Okay. So this is someone who feels like the emotions are still there, right? But what they're hoping for is that the emotions are mutual in the current moment. And that someone, again, I think their main concern this week is how you're going to respond, or if you're going to respond at all. Because they're viewing you as, okay, very, like, you're closed off. There's like a certain part of you that they no longer have access to. What's the Seven of Swords? The Four of Cups, Two of Cups, Six of Wands. So they're definitely want your attention this week. But Four of Cups clarifying the Seven of Cups could be an energy of losing interest or growing impatient or bored with the situation because of the dishonesty here. I also feel with the Four of Cups clarifying the Seven of Swords, this could also just be someone who's very tired of sulking or sitting and thinking about you, that they just want to speak to you, that they want to see some sort of progress. And they feel like, well, if I don't try, then I'll never know. The Five of Cups, someone who's missing you. They feel like they let you down or they disappointed you in a way. And I think that's where this energy of I want to work something out with you, or I want to heal something with you, is coming through. And I will say the main thing that they're thinking about this week, Leo, is speaking to you. There's like a genuine concern, or there's like an energy of I really just want to hear from Leo. And they strongly believe that even if you speak to them, you're not comfortable with speaking about your emotions, or you're not going to open up emotionally, like there's some sort of a guard or you know, kind of like an armor around your heart, like I mentioned before. Okay, so that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Virgo. Okay, Virgo, let's see. Person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, so we have the Ace of Wands on the bottom of the deck, and we have the Six of Cups. What I'm seeing here, Virgo, is like someone is, it almost seems to me like a renewal of hope, or feeling some sort of a spark in a connection again. It could even be someone who wants to like introduce some sort of like excitement or passion into a connection that already exists. Whether it's they feel like that was stripped away from this connection, or they're just feeling very, like they're feeling this energy of I want things to feel better between Virgo and I want things to feel, you know, more passionate, or I want the both of us to be happy again. Like there could be something that was stripped from this connection, and they want to get to a space that you guys were at in the past here. Okay. How is this person feeling about Virgo? Okay, so we have the Seven of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune. Some of you could be thinking of a fixed sign, Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, Taurus, but this is someone who's like very analytical of you or this connection this week. Like they're paying attention to you, yes, but they're also paying attention to the details. Maybe even certain things that they, you know, were confused about in the past, they're receiving clarity about in the now. But like ready to see some sort of progress, you know, wanting a change here. But there could, so for example, Virgo, like this person could feel like something was very stuck between the both of you, or the both of you have been connecting and conversing, but it doesn't feel like it may have felt like there was a lack of excitement, or there was a lack of passion. So there's something about wanting to renew that or bring that back into the connection here. Even if it's the both of you were, you know, have been connecting, but maybe you weren't able to, you know, physically be there with each other. Maybe every time you guys would make plans, there would be something that's in the way. They want things to get off the ground here. They're wanting to see more progress, but also wanting you to feel more excited about this connection here. Ten of Cups. So this is someone who is working towards a higher level of commitment. When they think about their end all be all, you're who comes to mind. There could also be something pertaining to a family dynamic that this person is going to bring up this week. Whether it be, wanting to create a family dynamic with you, maybe it's wanting you to meet their family or someone in their social circle. But initially what I was getting is something with like a family dynamic that is resurfacing here. This is someone who feels like they can build and grow with you, but it may have taken some time for them to be or get clear on what they wanted with you. And it's like they feel like the emotions are there, but maybe they feel like, okay, well, this connection has been moving very slowly, or I haven't been taking action towards Virgo like I want to. So you are going to see a shift here. The Lovers, wow. So this is someone who feels, or they're viewing you as a soulmate. There are very deep and intense emotions here, but this is someone who feels ready to make a decision. Not only because of the clarity that they're gaining about you, but this could be someone who has had an energetic shift within themselves as well, where there's a change from, maybe being indecisive to knowing exactly what they want in terms of wanting a higher level of commitment here. There's something about you, right, or your energy that feels like home. There's a lot of security there. So maybe some of you do have children together, okay? But if that's not the case, it's like these dreams or goals that you guys have birthed together, the promises that they've made you, they want to be able to follow through on that. And there definitely has been a shift. This could be someone who was very indecisive, okay? Maybe they would show you that they care for you through their passion, but when it came to maybe settling down or speaking on a family dynamic, that could be something that they avoided in the past. But I see that has shifted in the now. The Wheel of Fortune, the Two of Wands. Yeah, this is someone who's planning for the future. They have a plan in mind. But I will say with the Two of Wands, that could also be an energy of like a waiting game. So that's why I say that things could have been very stagnant between the both of you, or there was like an energy of this connection feeling very on and off. And now it's a strong energy of, I want to get this off the ground. This is what I want to work towards. Someone who feels more certain about you or what they're working towards with you in this connection. The Ten of Cups, Four of Pentacles. This is someone who could have also been working on their stability as well. But the Four of Pentacles, it does boil down to structure, right? So wanting to build something on stable grounds with you, wanting to take their time here, right? Not rushing into anything, making sure that what they're building with you is going to last. And it's not just going to be something that is temporarily stable. And I'm also getting someone who doesn't want to go back to their old ways. I don't know why I'm hearing that. Okay, so you're going to know how it resonates with you or if it does, but I'll give you a generic example. Like maybe this person's starting to realize how their actions, if, for example, they were inconsistent, they're starting to realize that is what affected this connection here, or it affected the stability of this connection. And I do see them changing or altering that, because Four of Pentacles is, I want structure, I want stability, I want what I'm building to last. So they're really like laying down the groundwork, or they're focused on the foundation here is what I'm sensing. Nine of Cups, you make this person extremely happy. They're viewing you as wish fulfillment. And Nine of Cups comes before the Ten of Cups. So I'm getting a strong energy of someone who feels very, like this could be a very independent individual, someone who's fulfilled on their own, but they feel like they would be happier if they were to come together with you. So it's like, I've had time to figure myself out. I do feel happy when it comes to my life or within myself, but the best addition right now would be Virgo. Page of Swords. What's the Four of Pentacles? The Six of Swords. Yeah, someone's moving closer to you is what I see. For some of you, like you guys are going to be connecting with each other, and you guys could make plans of like either moving in together, or it could just be travel plans. Maybe you guys are traveling together to, spend quality time with each other. But something else that I'm seeing with the Page of Swords is like, even if things have been at a standstill for quite some time, this is someone who continued to keep tabs on you. This is someone who constantly wonders what you're up to. So if they're not conversing with you, they're still trying to figure out what you're up to. What's the Six of Swords? The Ten of Swords and the Star card. Yeah. It's a very healing energy coming through here. Maybe like I'm getting a strong energy of like, I did not know what I wanted in the past, or I was taking too long to take action, but in the now, this is what I want. Someone who feels very ready to pursue something with you. Six of Swords and Ten of Swords could also be moving away from like some sort of betrayal in their personal life. feeling like something had to end, and they do feel hurt by it, but it's also aiding in them feeling more ready to pursue or heal something with you. Some of you could be dealing with an Aquarius. Okay? So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Libra. Okay, Libra. Let's see. The person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. What just came out here? Magician. First and foremost, Libra, I think that this is someone who's viewing you as extremely powerful. Okay. And you are really weighing heavily on their mind, or you're like, they feel like this energetic pull towards you this week. There's something about viewing you as very powerful. Because a magician could be when someone's viewing you as like a master manifester, or you are very powerful in terms of maybe you are very, you're in the public eye, or you're somehow important to your community here as well. We have the Two of Swords on the bottom of the deck, and we have the Six of Swords. This could be a week where this person is, trying to, or they're asking you specific questions, or there's something that they're trying to get to the bottom of. Because Two of Swords could be symbolic for like a lack of clarity, or someone feeling like they're not really, like something is not very clear to them. They're trying to figure something out here about you or about this connection. And Six of Swords could be something that they're walking away from. And if it's not quite literally walking away from a situation, Six of Swords could be, what's going on mentally, right? So releasing a mental burden, or, letting go of like a thinking pattern here. Because the Six of Swords boils down to, wanting to attain a peace of mind. Okay, how is this person feeling about Libra? Queen of Pentacles, okay, and the Four of Swords. This person could be viewing you as like a very career focused or goal oriented this week. Like, yes, it could be that maybe it's a very busy week for you, but they're viewing you as like paying attention to your goals or your finances. And the Four of Swords could be either a little bit of silence between the both of you, or they feel like you guys are not communicating with each other as much as you usually do. Like there could be a lack of consistency. It doesn't need to mean that you are not speaking to this person at all, but I do feel like there could be a lack of consistency here. Okay. I'm also strongly getting with the Queen of Pentacles being the first card in their feelings. This is someone who just really admires the way that you, take care of yourself. They could also really just admire, like, there's something here that you're pouring into, Libra, and it's working out for you, especially with that Magician that came out and now the Queen of Pentacles. And they admire that, or that's something that they feel very inspired by. The Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands could indicate that someone's feeling a bit defensive, whether it's something that they're unable to communicate about in the current moment, okay? This could also be a card of like, standing your ground. So there could be something that you guys are disagreeing on, but they want to, yes, find a solution, but they don't want to agree just for the sake of agreeing. Does that make sense? It's like, okay, maybe we are, disagreeing on something, but let's talk about it and figure out a solution. There may be a strong energy of this person feeling like there's a lot that the both of you are maybe sweeping under the rug, or a lot that the both of you are thinking about but not necessarily discussing. And I'm sensing a strong energy of wanting to bring that to the forefront. And this is a week where they're viewing you as someone who's being very cautious with where you're putting your energy and time. And again, it doesn't mean that you're not speaking to this person, but maybe there's something else or another aspect of your life that requires most of your attention this week, is how they're viewing you. Possibly a little distracted by something else that you're pouring into is what I'm persistently getting. King of Cups. So this could be like an emotional confession, or someone who wants to have like a heart-to-heart conversation with you. Okay. Someone here could be like a counselor or like a therapist also that's coming through. But what I see with the King of Cups is wanting to be open about their emotions towards you. This is someone who feels very deeply towards you, but they are also trying their best to remain emotionally balanced, keep their, emotions intact and figure out how they want to express these feelings towards you. Four of Cups, Four of Swords, okay. There's something about wondering, or I should say questioning your interest. And here's what's going on, Libra. Like, you could possibly just be busy with work, right? But because there's a lack of communication or it's inconsistent, this person may be assuming the worst case scenario, right? Four of Cups could be something that you're thinking about, something that you're feeding into, but it's also a card that's associated with illusions, right? So something that may appear to be true is actually not the truth. And the Four of Cups and the Four of Swords could be, okay, well, things feel very stuck, or Libra's not really communicating with me like they usually do. So do they still feel the same way? Do they still want the same things, or are they taking a break? Like there's a lack of clarity. And we did see the Two of Swords as I opened the spread. So I feel like the lack of clarity is just stemming from inconsistent communication here. The Tower. Some of you could be dealing with a Scorpio. There could have also been a very unexpected ending between the both of you, and that's followed by this very defensive or on guard energy. Like, okay, I did not expect things to end, and I want to reconnect or I want to speak here, but I'm still feeling a little bit on the fence here. The Tower could also just be someone who is like there's something internally that is changing for them, whether it's they're going through a wake-up call, whether it's they're having a realization about you or this connection here. But they're also viewing you as like handling a situation much better than they are. The Hermit. Some of you could be dealing with a Virgo. What's the Four of Cups? The Six of Pentacles, okay. Yeah, definitely see that this is someone who's invested. This could even be like coming forward with a kind gesture, but I do see that they want to prove to you that they care about you through their actions. I'm also sensing, guys, like this person could feel like they reacted too soon, because the download that's coming through is like someone who feels like either they reacted to something very like too quickly, or they should have thought about something thoroughly before speaking on it. It's almost like they're viewing you as not expecting them to communicate something or like say something or do something. Like whether it's they just said something to you in the spur of the moment, or they communicated something to you without thoroughly thinking about it, they are wondering if that turned you off from the situation or if that made you view them differently. Three of Wands. What's the Three of Wands? The Ten of Wands. Yeah. They feel like it's not going to be a walk in the park to figure something out here for sure. But the Ten of Wands could also be something about this connection, especially with the Six of Pentacles. Maybe it felt one-sided in the past. So what I see here in the now is someone who does want to connect with you, but they're not sure if you guys are on the same page. And they're more specifically worried about something that they said to you that you did not expect from them. Even if you did expect it, this is their feelings, right? So this is their perspective on things. And it's an energy of wanting to reconnect, but Ten of Wands could be, okay, there's a lot of work to do, or this is not going to be a walk in the park. And I will say that this week it could be a little more, quiet between the both of you, or there's a bit of inconsistency, because what I was getting persistently throughout the spread is someone who feels like another area of your life requires your focus. And so you could be connecting with them, but maybe, there's like a lack of balance here when it comes to maintaining what you're focused on, and in comparison to like this situation as well that you're trying to maintain here. Okay. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Scorpio. Okay. Scorpio. So let's see the person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Seven of Wands wanted to pop out here. Okay. Someone feels very uneasy about a situation this week. Like there could be something that they're thinking about and they're like feeling very defensive, or there's something here that they could feel a little bit offended by. Okay, let's see. We have the Page of Cups on the bottom of the deck, and we have the World card. I feel like this is someone who, because I'm reading the Page of Cups as like an emotional confession, right? A message, a phone call, someone reaching out to you. But it also seems to me that they could be at a physical distance from you, or there's something that they're feeling very uneasy about emotionally. Like they're reaching out to you and maybe you guys are speaking, but there could be something that they're revisiting or something that they're holding on to. And it feels like there's some sort of emotional distance between the both of you. Okay. How's this person feeling about Scorpio? Two of Wands. Definitely could be physical distance between the both of you, for sure. You know, maybe for some of you it's emotional, but it's like, I don't necessarily see it as someone who doesn't feel connected to you. They do feel connected to you, but there's also a disconnect that they're sensing, is the best way for me to explain this energy. Okay. The Ten of Cups and the Death card. There could have been like a recent separation or a falling out between you and this person. And so, you know, that's why I was sensing this is someone who feels very connected to you. They want to speak to you, with the Ten of Cups being the first card in their feelings. But the second card is a Death card, which means needing to accept an ending or needing to accept that there has been a shift here or a disconnect. And I do see someone who wants to reconnect with you, Scorpio, but they're acknowledging that things are not going to be the same, whether it's they feel you view them in a different, you know, light, or your perspective has shifted where they're visiting, you know, or they're revisiting the past, but they don't feel like that could be something that occurs in the now. It's like if I were to reconnect with Scorpio, it would be completely different. And I know because the energy is different. And I know because Scorpio's, you know, emotions are, you know, different, or their responses towards me are not the same. The Six of Swords. Definitely feel like this is someone who wants to make peace with a situation, or at least move away from negative thoughts. Because the Six of Swords could also be when you're trying to attain a peace of mind. So like I said, they're feeling very uneasy when they're thinking of you this week, and there may even be something that they're feeling a little bit defensive about or on guard about, but they want to move away from that energy because they feel like it's causing them to feel stuck. They're definitely consumed, you know, by thoughts of you or thoughts of this connection this week. They may even feel like they can't stop thinking about this situation. And that could be the reason why we have the Six of Swords in their feelings, kind of like, I really want to, you know, let go of a thinking pattern, or I want to, you know, I no longer want to continue revisiting something that's not making me feel good about the connection here. The Ten of Cups, the Emperor. What's the Death card? Star, yeah. Some of you could be dealing with an Aquarius, potentially an Aries. But what I'm sensing is wanting to heal from this ending and wanting to reconnect with you. There may be a sense of, or like this person may have a specific outcome in mind. Like the Emperor could be when you have like a plan in mind, or you want something to occur in like a specific manner. Okay. This could also be someone who's in like a position of authority, maybe someone with, it could also be someone with a lot of, you know, responsibilities here. But they're very determined to heal something with you, and they're viewing you as someone that's very hard to read this week. Even if it's someone who sees you in person, they may feel like, I can't really put my finger on how Scorpio's feeling. The Knight of Cups. This person could also feel like they owe you an apology, or the Knight of Cups could just be like an emotional confession. You know, this is how I feel, or this is what's bothering me, and I want to be honest with you, and I want to move to calmer waters. Six of Swords, the Star card, is all about making peace or restoring some sort of balance in a connection. But they could view you to be in like a very stern energy where like you've communicated what you wanted, or you've made your emotions very clear, where they're like, I don't know if, you know, Scorpio is willing to, you know, bend those rules or expectations here. Or it could be a strong energy of, I want to speak to Scorpio, I just don't know if I'm able to get through to them. Eight of Swords. Yeah, this is definitely someone who is thinking about you quite a bit this week. And Eight of Swords is usually when someone feels some sort of mental restrictions as well. Whether it's they're telling themselves that something is not going to work out, or they're constantly revisiting a negative situation, and maybe that's making them feel a bit hopeless here. But the pro of this card is you can take yourself out of this state of mind, right? But it's not an easy thing to do, especially if it's like you're thinking about something consistently or there's a pattern in your thoughts. It could be difficult to, remove yourself from that or let go of that thinking pattern. But it's not impossible is what I'm getting at. The Ace of Wands. So what they desire here is a new beginning. They still feel very passionately towards you. And the Ten of Cups being the first card is, I want to, work on this. This is someone that I have a lot of love for. But I will say there could be certain thoughts or certain events that occurred in the past that are causing them to feel stuck here and there. Some days feel easier than others for this person, is what I'm sensing. Some days they feel very optimistic, and other days maybe they let the not so great parts about themselves or this connection get the best of them. Knight of Cups, the Two of Pentacles. So what I see is someone who's going back and forth and debating, whether or not to come forward, but also emotionally express how they feel towards you. Two of Pentacles could also be someone who's thinking about you, but there's something else that they're trying to maintain, right? It could be a case of juggling where it's like, okay, well, I'm stressed out, I feel very overworked, but Scorpio's still on my mind. And I still want to figure something out when it comes to the situation with Scorpio. Seven of Swords and the Strength card. There's some sort of a truth that is being suppressed. And hear me out, guys. When I say a truth is being suppressed, you may be aware of what the truth is. But when I say suppressed, I mean it's not being communicated. So the Strength card and the Seven of Swords could be symbolic for someone either admitting to something, taking accountability, or a truth that is being communicated, like you guys are actually speaking about it. This is someone who is tired of refraining from speaking about either something they feel guilty about or even a suspicion that they have. It could be if they're suspicious about something on your end, they want to clear that up. Strength card, the Ace of Pentacles, in order to move forward here. The reason why this person feels very uneasy about this connection this week, guys, is because they know that the both of you are thinking about something in particular, but it's just not being, like you guys are just not speaking about it. And so they either want to be the one to bring it up, but with the Two of Pentacles, it could be, how do I go about this? Or is it the right time? Do I say it like this? Do I, confess it like this? And it is in hopes that you guys could have some sort of a new beginning here, okay? And the other way that I could read this, guys, with the Two of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups, it could be someone who's debating, right, whether or not to reach out to you. And they could be assuming that you are invested in something new. Seven of Swords, Strength card, and the Ace of Pentacles could be moving away in silence or some sort of a new beginning that, you are, or a new opportunity that is being presented to you that they're aware of. But Seven of Swords and Strength card could specifically be someone who's suspicious of you, or they feel like you are moving towards something else, in silence, like in a very discreet energy, but they do want to communicate. Okay. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Sagittarius. Okay. Sagittarius, let's see the person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, guys, so we have the Eight of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, and we have the Queen of Swords. For some of you, this could be someone that you work with, okay? Or something about career is coming through here with the Eight of Pentacles. But with the Queen of Swords, it may be that you are in more of a detached energy this week, or so that's how this person is viewing you. Right? Maybe the communication is inconsistent, or they feel like you are focused on something else in the current moment. But I'm getting a strong energy of someone wanting to prove themselves to you, like put forth more effort or speak to you a little more or be more consistent with you. But they're viewing you as detached, or you're not as invested as you once were. Okay. How is this person feeling about Sagittarius? The Six of Swords, okay, and the Knight of Cups. I'm hearing peace offering. Moving towards you in hopes that you guys could, work towards being at a more peaceful state. Whether it's, there has been a recent disagreement, whether it's just a lack of, consistency between the both of you. I do sense this is someone who wants to feel closer to you, but initially what I was getting here is like peace offering. So this could be in the form of an apology, an emotional confession, someone maybe admitting to something. I also feel with the Six of Swords being the first card in their feelings, there could be something or a situation that this person is moving away from this week. Could be quite literally like a move, like someone who's physically relocating, whether it's for career, but I'm also getting like an energy of like moving away from what no longer serves them, or moving away from something that is kind of causing a lot of drama or havoc here. The Eight of Cups, yeah. So this is emotionally detaching or walking away. What I'm sensing here, guys, is like there could have been a pause in this connection, or this could even be someone who has chosen to walk away from this situation in the past. But there's something that has changed in terms of how they're viewing you or this connection here. There could be something in this connection where they feel like they were unable to find a solution for it, right? So this is a general reading, so take it how it resonates, but maybe there was something that was going on in their environment, okay, or something pertaining to their circumstances that they felt like was out of their control. In the now, they feel like I have a solution, or I feel like we can work through that. But it's something that felt impossible to work through in the past. And it could have quite literally led to a separation, or this person feeling like the easier thing to do was walk away. Three of Wands. Yeah, headed in your direction, but this is also a card of planning. This is someone who has a plan in mind. They know what they're working towards in the now. I also feel, guys, like this is definitely someone who's questioning how you're feeling, what you're thinking of them, what has changed. And it could be because when things were at a standstill, there could have been a lack of, consistency or communication, where they don't really know if you guys are on the same page. They don't really know what you're working towards or what's currently going on for you. Knight of Cups, Five of Wands. Yeah, moving away from some sort of conflict. I'm also sensing with the Five of Wands and the Knight of Cups, guys, like there could be an energy of this person feeling like they overreacted to, a situation in the past, and they're wanting to apologize for that. Because the Five of Wands, it does touch on like conflict or obstacles, but it's usually something that you could avoid. So in other words, it could have been that this person was more worried about having the last word, or there was something that they said or have done to you, and they feel like that it was very petty of them, or it lacked importance. And so they're like, I could have avoided that, but that could be the very thing they want to apologize for. I also see here that this is someone who feels like as they were involved in this connection with you, there were a lot of things that were kind of like a distraction for them. Right? So whether it's maybe engaging in the wrong social crowd, or maybe it was family members, they feel like there was some sort of distractions where they were unable to give to this situation with you the way that they wanted to. Eight of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. They're starting to realize what they could have had with you, or what the both of you could have worked towards. And it seems to me that it's not something that was clear to them in the past here. They're viewing you as very, yes, in an independent energy, but they may feel like you're more focused on like your finances or stability at this time. Whether that be something that you communicated to this person, or they could just sense that based off of the energy that you're exuding. Like you're not as invested, or you're not really or you're not the one to like initiate the conversation, so they can sense that, okay, well, I think their focus is somewhere else. And Queen of Pentacles is more like when you're focused on your finances, stability, something in your 3D. The Moon card. A lot of suppressed emotions, but also very intense emotions. Here's what I'm sensing. This is someone who feels like there needs to be more balance in this connection, right? This card touches on, there's like two different definitions to it. There's like a domestic side, then there's like a very wild and fun and, crazy side. So this person may feel like there was a lot of passion between the both of you, and things were very fast moving, but they may want something to feel more stable between the both of you, or more balanced. And with the Five of Wands, I see them moving away from, again, like conflict or things that just do not serve them. But those are the very things that they allowed to create some sort of a block in this connection in the past. Seven of Pentacles, observing, you know, their actions, the connection, and seeing what they could do differently. And Seven of Pentacles is also a very realistic energy as well, right? It's like analyzing a situation and asking yourself, well, is this going to be worth the investment? You know, is my, the goal I have in mind, is it realistic, or am I getting ahead of myself? And with the Moon card, either there's like a very secretive energy here that they're focused on. So it could be secrecy in this connection. But the Moon card could also touch on illusions, right? When you're trying to figure something out on your own, but you're not really seeing the truth of the matter, or you're not really seeing something for what it is. Queen of Pentacles, the Tower. This person reaching out to you could be very, very unexpected, okay? And this is also someone who's acknowledging that you guys did not build on, you know, or there was not a stable foundation in the past here, because a tower usually comes up in a spread when something was kind of built on shaky grounds, where you could anticipate that it was going to end before it actually did. Some of you could be connecting with a Scorpio, but I'm getting a strong energy of like an unexpected return. And someone who's moving away from conflict, someone who's moving away from events or people that you would consider a distraction in this connection. Okay, so that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn. So the person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, guys, so we have the Five of Cups on the bottom of the deck, and we have the World card. Okay. I'm getting a specific message here, Capricorn, but the first thing that I'm seeing is someone who's having a tough time accepting the end of a cycle, okay? But what I'm intuitively picking up on is like, this is someone who feels like they could have possibly like de-escalated a situation in a way. So like, there could be a conversation that escalated into maybe an argument or something not so pleasant, but they feel like they could have stopped that from occurring in one way or another. That's what I'm sensing here with the Five of Cups and the World card. Let's see. How is this person feeling about Capricorn? It's like, if I just said this, or if I didn't say this, like they're starting to see how they could have completely avoided, you know, an ending or you know, like a conflict or an obstacle here. Okay, let's see. The Six of Pentacles and the Strength card. Some of you could be dealing with the Leo. Okay. The first thing that I'm getting here, Capricorn, is like this person felt like they had more time to figure something out with you, okay? The reason I say that is with the Six of Pentacles being the first card in their feelings, they feel like they were trying to maintain either two things at once, or there's some sort of neglect that is being highlighted here, where it's like, I could have done more, or I could have said more. So you may have been involved with someone who was giving you just enough to work with, but in a way you either felt like it was the bare minimum, or you felt like you weren't, you know, like your energy was not being reciprocated. Because with the Strength card, they feel like they were very withdrawn, even though they have intense emotions for you. Because the Strength card touches on, again, intense emotions, but it's usually when you're not expressing them, right? You're refraining from doing that, or it could be symbolic for a lot of suppressed emotions. Some of you could be dealing with a Leo. This is someone who definitely has a soft spot for you, but I don't think that that's something they were communicating to you in the past. And again, a persistent energy of, I could have done more, or I could have said more to avoid, you know, the pickle that I'm currently in. Ace of Wands. A lot of passion here, a desire for a new beginning. But it would require this person to open up, which is what I see them struggling with the Strength card. And I'm strongly getting like something about feeling like they had more time to figure something out. So I wonder if like there was a very sudden change that occurred between the both of you, or things ended very abruptly, or you chose to walk away without really like an explanation here, because they feel like they weren't prepared for something to end, and they're trying to deal with the aftermath of it, and it's affecting them a lot more than they're showing you. The Seven of Wands. So this is someone who feels very guarded. There could be something that they want or know that they need to admit to. There could be something they want to take accountability for, but they're struggling with that. The Seven of Wands could also be an energy of not seeing eye to eye on something, right? But it touches on like standing your ground. So I don't want to say that they're operating from like a stubborn energy, but this is someone who wants to work something out with you, but they don't want to agree just for the sake of agreeing or keeping the peace. They want to be able, to speak their truth, and they want to hear your truth, and they want to be able to find a solution for it. So there could be something that the both of you are disagreeing on, but you guys weren't really communicating about it in the past. The Hermit. Some of you could be dealing with the Virgo. Yeah. I could be picking up on someone, like an energy of someone who spends a lot of time on their own, right? Or most of their critical thinking they do on their own. They don't really go and ask for the opinion of others. But as they're going through this very dark period, there's a lot that's being illuminated to them, right? There's a lot of lessons that they're learning. That's what the lantern is symbolic for in the Hermit card. But the block that I see is someone who struggles to communicate their emotions towards you. It's like when they think about opening up, they're either feeding into negative thoughts, or they're thinking about like the worst case scenario. Like, oh, well, if I open up, what if Capricorn, says this, or Capricorn doesn't respond at all? Like there could be some sort of fears or illusions that are creating a block as well, is what I'm getting at. Four of Pentacles. Someone who wants structure, stability, right? Something to feel more tangible between the both of you. This could also be someone who is reaching out to you, but they are, facing some sort of financial constraints, or they're not exactly where they want to be in terms of stability. But it's like a withdrawn energy, but the Four of Pentacles also touches on holding on to an energy. And this is what I was getting at. They're thinking about you. They're still feeling very deeply towards you, but you may find that this person is a bit withdrawn, or they struggle with opening up emotionally, is what I'm getting here. The Death card, some of you could be dealing with a Scorpio, and the Three of Pentacles. So wanting to work something out with you after, an ending, after a shift. And it's a persistent energy of feeling or not feeling prepared for a sudden change. Like, okay, I did not expect this to happen. Now what do I do moving forward? Dealing with the aftermath of a situation much after it has happened. So this is someone who feels like they've taken a while to process the end of a cycle, and it's something that they're still actively struggling with. Four of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles. Let's see, Eight of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles. They're viewing you as possibly shifting your focus towards work. They're viewing you in a very independent energy. Okay. But with the Three of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles, I'm strongly getting that this could be someone who was in like a codependent situation in the past, and they have freed themselves from that situation where they're feeling more independent, or they feel like they could do something on their own. So if this is someone who was breadcrumbing you or neglecting a situation with you because of another situation, they may have only been involved in that situation for stability purposes or finances. They may have been attached to someone through assets. This is just a generic example. But I see them feeling more independent or stable on their own, which is aiding in them feeling more confident in pursuing things with you, or at least working something out. Because the Three of Pentacles is not really a card of commitment. Instead, it's a card of like negotiating something or having a discussion here. Okay. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius, let's see. The person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, guys, so some of you could be thinking of a Capricorn. We have the Devil on the bottom of the deck, and we have the Seven of Cups, Scorpion energy. You know what I'm sensing here, Aquarius? I feel like there's someone here who can't stop thinking about you. Okay, let me start off by saying that, but they're trying to make sense of their emotions. Like, this could be someone who feels very deeply towards you, but they're like, well, why though? Like, why do I feel so deeply towards Aquarius? Or why do I feel this attachment? Yeah, trying to make sense of their emotions. And the Seven of Cups is also like, it could touch on mixed signals, right? So this person could feel very confused in this connection, or they feel like they're unable to read you. Maybe some days they feel, I have this figured out, I know exactly what's going on. And other days they feel like there's a lot that's up in the air, or there's something that they're constantly questioning about this connection. This could also be someone who did not expect to fall for you or develop emotions for you. And that could be something that's like they're a little bit confused by, or they're trying to make sense of it, is basically what I'm saying. Okay. Ten of Wands and the Two of Swords. There's like a very heavy energy, in their feelings this week. So like the Ten of Wands could be when you're feeling burdened by something, right? It could be when you're working towards something, or desiring something, but you feel like there's a lot of work to do, and you know that it's not going to be like, a walk in the park. The Two of Swords is this person having a hard time seeing past illusions, right? Especially with the Seven of Cups that we did see. That card could also touch on someone who's in like a state of denial, where there's certain things that they're accepting about this connection, but there are certain things that they're picking and choosing not to focus on, which could be creating some sort of a block, right? Because in order to find a solution, you would have to, see both sides of things, or you would have to see the, the entire picture. But there could be something that this person is avoiding this week because it feels too difficult to think about, because it feels too, it feels too heavy to feel, with the Ten of Wands being the first card in their feelings. The Judgment. Yeah, some of you could be dealing with a Scorpio Judgment. That's a shift, that's a change. That's someone who is realizing that things are not the same between the both of you. They could be comparing the, where you guys are right now to maybe the dynamic in the past here. And like, I'm feeling resistance when it comes to change, right? Because a judgment could be when there's an opportunity presented to us, or there's, a sign that we're constantly receiving. But Two of Swords could be when you're ignoring that sign, or you're not accepting it, right? So even if it's something that they're acknowledging, they're like, okay, well, I don't want to think about that, or I don't know if that's the path that I'm supposed to take. Like, there's a lot of questioning going on, a bit of a doubtful energy. But I also feel resistance when it comes to change. Like, whether it's entirely letting a cycle close out, accepting that something is not going to be the same, but it could be different in terms of having a new start that's more successful. Like, they're not in the position of accepting that. They're holding on to something from the past, and it's weighing them down. Five of Pentacles. This is someone who's really missing you. This is someone who definitely feels like an outsider in your life, and there could even be some sort of financial issues that they're facing this week. I'm also getting an energy of someone who wants to reconnect with you, but they may feel like that would require them to come back around with like kind of like their tail between their legs, or it would require them to admit to something, possibly even admit that they were wrong about something in the past. So I could read it as someone who is, operating from a space of ego or pride, but it's also just unable to accept a situation for what it is, picking and choosing what they want to focus on, even if it's particularly this week. The Two of Swords could also indicate kind of like a this or that way of thinking, where there may have been a pattern in this connection, or something has always progressed, in a similar manner between the both of you, where they're like, how is it going to be any different this time around? How am I going to find a new approach? So you have someone here who's really missing you, but there's also a level of confusion. specifically when it comes to figuring out their next steps. King of Wands could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But King of Wands is someone, like, there's a heavy fixation on you this week. This is someone who's very focused on you. But what's interesting is there's a lack of communication. There's a withdrawn energy. Even if it's someone who feels like, I need to let things be, or right now is not the time for me to, initiate a conversation or speak about something. But I also feel like this is someone who's doing a good job at, I don't want to say putting up a front, but they're not really showing you how much they are impacted by the situation or the separation here. They're playing it cool. 3 of Cups. What's the 5 of Pentacles? A Tower. There's something unexpected about this silence from your end, is what I'm seeing in their feelings. And what I mean by that is that maybe you and this person, you guys have had disagreements in the past. And maybe, this is someone that you maybe would go a few days or a few weeks without speaking to them. But something feels very real or very certain in the now, where they expected that the both of you would overcome this and speak to each other, just like every other time you guys were able to overcome an obstacle. But this time around, it feels more, are we really going to work this out? Or is this being finalized where we're not going to speak to each other again? Yeah, there's a lot of fear in that sense of, why aren't we able to work this out? Why are we still not speaking to each other? And is this how it's going to continue? Heavy Scorpion energy here. The Strength card, yeah. Someone who is appearing as if they are not impacted or they're keeping it together. But really, the Strength card touches on intense emotions. And we did see the Devil, someone who's thinking about you quite a bit here. But I think that this could be a week where they're, a bit withdrawn, or they're on guard. And I'm strongly getting, guys, like, as much as this person wants to reconnect with you, they know that they would either A, have to take accountability for something, okay? Or they would have to admit that they were wrong about either something like a judgment call in the past, or they were wrong about maybe something that they assumed, that sort of thing. And that's what they're struggling with, like, in terms of, I don't want to admit to that, or that's something that I don't want to speak about. But they feel like if they were to come back around, it's definitely something you would ask about, or it would resurface in a conversation. So someone who's thinking about you, but you could be dealing with someone who's in a bit of an avoidant energy, right? And, if you're avoiding a situation, it doesn't mean you're detached. It actually means you're attached, because you're not dealing with it, but you're just choosing to avoid it. So I think their demeanor could come off very, nonchalant, this person doesn't care, or whatever it is, but they're very attached to the point where they're avoiding, thinking about you, or they're using something as a distraction. But it does not change what's going on for them internally. Okay? So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Pisces. Okay, Pisces. Let's see. The person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, hold on. Knight of Wands and the Page of Pentacles. This could be a very unexpected offer or an unexpected message that is coming in for you from this person. And it could also be very impulsive, like someone who is having a hard time fighting the urge, right, to reach out to you or speak to you, or they're communicating something to you very impulsively here. Okay. Some of you could be thinking of a Leo, the 3 of Pentacles. Yeah, this is someone who has a very soft spot for you, Pisces. And I see the 3 of Pentacles as like a conversation or a discussion here, but it may start off very impulsive. Like, for example, if this is someone who was withdrawn for quite some time, they're maybe just, you're working or you're doing something and they're just like randomly reaching out to you and you don't expect it. Because the Strength card does touch on a withdrawn energy, but it also touches on someone who feels very deeply towards you. Someone who feels like your energy gives them a sense of calm or security. Okay. How is this person feeling about Pisces? The Knight of Wands again. There's a very impulsive energy coming towards you, Pisces. Very, like, it's like, you know, maybe this is someone who is, you know, we have the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, this could be someone who's just, you know, sitting around, or they're working, whatever it is. And you're, you know, when they think of you, they're like, you know what? I'm just going to reach out. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm not going to, you know, downplay my emotions. And it's someone who feels very, very passionate about you as well, where they can no longer fight that urge that they're feeling. Four of Pentacles, okay, and the Justice card. So the Four of Pentacles, again, it could be a withdrawn energy. So it could be someone who has been held back, but it's also someone who's holding on to your energy as well. It could be a Libra that you're dealing with. But the Justice card could be an energy of this person wanting to do something the right way or make something up to you. It could also be wanting to restore balance in this connection here. The Queen of Swords. Oh, okay. Justice card and the Queen of Swords, guys, it could quite literally mean, you know, someone, or it could be someone who has recently went through like a divorce or like a breakup here. So there may be, for some of you, like legal matters that were kind of standing in the way of this person pursuing something with you, or, you know, being open with you. So like this could be a situation where in the past they were, you know, dealing with another situation where they weren't able to authentically express their emotions towards you. Whether it's because they felt some sort of guilt for doing so, or another situation was taking up most of their time and energy. But they're feeling very ready in the now. And I think that's why we did see the Knight of Wands twice here as we were shuffling, right? It's an energy of, I can no longer fight this urge, or I want to move towards Pisces. Okay. Four of Pentacles, Nine of Cups, viewing you as wish fulfillment. Someone who makes them very, very happy. But just feeling more ready to either like get something off the ground with you, or feeling like a block has been removed. So definitely feeling a lot lighter about this situation and feeling, like I said, more ready to pursue something with you. And Nine of Cups clarifying the Four of Pentacles, guys, that's also like someone who, yes, feels like you make them very happy, but they don't feel they actually showed you how happy you make them, or they did not communicate that to you in the past. Because like I said, Four of Pentacles could be when you're holding on to something, you know, even if it's like a vision or a goal that you have in mind, but you're not speaking about it. It's like a very withdrawn energy. The Six of Cups. You feel like home to this person. There's a sense of security. There's a sense of, it could even be a very nostalgic energy as well. And I feel like this is someone who compares the connection that they have with you to other connections in their life. And not only is it that there's something that stands out about you, there's like this level of, you know, just comfort or home when it comes to connecting with you. For some of you, there may be children in this dynamic. What's the Queen of Swords? The Knight of Swords, yeah. Someone who's like, I'm tired of the silence. I'm speaking up. I'm, you know, again, rushing in. Knight of Swords could be a very fast-moving energy, right? But it's also, you know, a strong energy of being very impulsive and taking that action right when you feel that emotion associated with it. Queen of Cups, wow. I think their confession is going to make you very happy, and you're going to feel more at ease about this situation here. Queen of Cups could also be someone who's really wanting to have like a heart-to-heart conversation with you. I definitely see you receiving an opportunity to open up and speak to this person about how you feel. The Queen of Cups, you know, it's also an energy of like following your intuition, right? Following your gut. So as you're communicating with this person, maybe there's a sign that you're receiving, right? Or you have a gut feeling about how something is going to work out. And I would say trust your intuition. Nine of Swords. Yeah, so this is someone who feels like they've been thinking about you for quite some time, but they were unable to act on their emotions, but they feel very confident or ready this week to, you know, authentically express how they feel towards you. And Nine of Swords clarifying the Six of Cups is like someone who feels like, despite what you guys go through or despite the distance, they always feel drawn to you, or they always, like, you're always on their mind. King of Swords, Queen of Swords. Okay, what's the King of Swords? Nine of Wands. Yeah, this is someone who has had an ending in their life where they moved away from a situation and there's a guard up, where they may be open about what they had to let go of. But I think with the Nine of Wands, this is someone who still feels wounded from their past, or there's something that they're still holding on to, but in a way where it's like, I don't want to discuss that. I just want to have a guard up and not involve myself in that very thing. Nine of Wands, Knight of Cups. This may even be someone who feels like they owe you an apology. I'm sorry for what I put you through. I'm sorry that I was unable to pursue you in the past, but because some of you could have felt like this person was stringing you along. What's the Nine of Swords? The Queen of Pentacles, okay? And the Nine of Pentacles. Viewing you as pouring into yourself. There could be some sort of a change that has occurred for you where this person is still or is now wondering if you're still on the same page or wanting the same things in this connection. But they're very sure that they want to invest in a situation with you. But I do sense that there was a level of feeling uneasy about this connection in the past. A level of, this is how I feel, but I can't really act on how I feel. And because of an ending or their ability to walk away from another situation at hand, they're feeling more ready to pursue things with you. And for some of you, especially with the King of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the Justice card, it definitely could be legal matters that were, creating a block here, or it was taking up most of this person's time, attention and focus. Okay. So that is what I'm getting for you guys this week. I really do hope you were able to find a message that resonated with you here today. And thank you so much for your time.